back. Now we are doing question number 5. This is the starting of function. Okay, given f of x is equal to 8 divided by x minus 8 plus 4. What is this function? This function is hyperbola, because we can see it got a denominator in terms of x. Did you see that? This one. So we know that it is hyperbola. So before I do this question, let me explain something about hyperbola, those basic things. The standard form of hyperbola, we have two of them. One is f of x is equal to a divided by x minus p plus q. This is the standard form of hyperbola. And the hyperbola is the graph which got two asymptotes. What do you mean by asymptotes? Asymptotes are undefined condition. It's a line where graph never touch. It got a horizontal asymptotes and vertical asymptotes. A vertical asymptotes equation is x is equal to p, and the horizontal asymptotes equation is y is equal to q. Both of them you can get it from, you can see p and q in the equation. But sometimes they will give you the equation like this: f of x is equal to a divided by x plus p plus q. In this case, vertical asymptotes is x is equal to minus p, and horizontal asymptote equation of horizontal asymptote is y is equal to q. So you have to change it accordingly. Okay, yes. So now a is also very important. Looking at a, you have to decide, because this asymptote it got two parts are there. For example, this first case, x is equal to p is a vertical asymptotes, like this. It's a straight line. Then y is equal to q is the horizontal asymptotes, like this. This is the equation of x is equal to p, and this one is y is equal to q. Okay, if and looking at the asymptotes, you have to check the quadrant. We can see first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Remember, when it comes to hyperbola, this quadrant we are deciding based on asymptotes, not x-axis and y-axis. Okay, yeah. If a is equal to a is positive, if a is positive, a is greater than 0, you will have two parts. One is in the first quadrant, the other one in the opposite, but diagonal opposite, that is third quadrant, if a is positive. Okay, but if a is negative, one in the second quadrant like this, then the other one is in the opposite, but diagonal opposite is what? Fourth quadrant. That's how you have to draw hyperbola. Is it clear? All right. Now in hyperbola, we have two axes of symmetries. Okay, asymptotes we have two of them, and axis of symmetry also. What do you mean by axis of symmetry? Axis of symmetry is the line that divide graph symmetrically into two parts. Okay, so I'm going to draw the axis of symmetry. This is the first one. It's a line. It's a decreasing line, and its equation is always y is equal to, since this line is decreasing, minus x plus c. Okay, yeah. Then another one also there, that is this one, which is passing through the third quadrant and first quadrant like this, and its equation is y is equal to x plus c, positive gradient. And one of this you have to find it, either axis of symmetry with the positive gradient, that is this one, then axis of symmetry with the negative gradient, that is this one. You have to find. How do you find that? Generally, these two lines are passing through this point. Look at this point where asymptotes meet. Okay, that point is always PQ, and you can find the value of c. Here the only one constant is there in both equation. What is that constant? C, isn't it? We can get a c by substituting the point PQ. I think question number 5.5, I will show you how to get it. Okay, this is generally I'm talking. Now domain and range. Domain, let me start with the domain. Domain of this graph is all the x values, real numbers, except what? X should not be equal to p. Why x is not equal to p? Because at p it's an asymptote. So all the values of real numbers where x is not equal to p. Or we can write it x, this way also we can write it x element starting from minus infinity to plus infinity open bracket where x is not equal to p. Is it clear? This way also we can write, either this way or this way you can write domain. Okay, then range. Range is all the y values. Okay, all the y value, all the real numbers except y is not equal to what? Except it is q. So this is the range, all the y values except q. Okay, and or you can write like this: y element starting from minus infinity to infinity open bracket where one value you have to exclude it. What is that? Y is not equal to q. So these are the things generally about a hyperbola you need to know. 5.1, write down the equation of asymptotes of f. So let me write the equation f of x is equal to 8 divided by x minus 8 plus 4. When you compare this one with the standard form, we can see that a is 8, p is again 8 and q is 4, isn't it? Now write down the equation of asymptotes. We already know that x is equal to p and y is equal to q. Just the matter of substitution, you will get it. That is 5.1, x is equal to p, here is 8, and y is equal to q4. So this is the answer to that question. Okay, 2 marks question. This is how you have to do it, and don't lose the mark. Clear? But instead of this, if the equation is like this, f of x is equal to 8 divided by x plus 8 plus 4, what are you going to do? X is equal to minus 8 and y is equal to 4. Y value is same, but x value is not positive 8, negative 8. Why? Because plus is there in between x and 8. So that you have to remember. Okay? All right. Now we can go to the next question. What is that? Write down the domain and range. It's very simple now, because domain is all the x values except 8 and the range is all the y values except 4, isn't it? Just write it down, that one. See, another 2 marks. 5.2. Domain. Let me start with the domain. All the x values, element of real numbers where x not equal to 8. This is domain. And range. Domain. And what is the range? Now you can write it in another way also, minus infinity to plus infinity where x is not equal to 8. Then range is what? All the y values in the real number where y should not be equal to 4. Why? Because they are asymptotes where graph is broken. Okay, it's a broken graph. If you have got 2 parts, you know that. Looking at A, the sign of A, if A is positive, one part in the first quadrant, then the other one in the third quadrant of asymptotes. Clear? Okay, so we are going to draw the graph. That is the next question, 5.3. We are going to draw the graph. So usually, like other graphs, what we need first, x-intercept and y-intercept. If you are drawing a parabola or a straight line or a hyperbola or exponential or a logarithmic, any function, including a trigonometric graph, when you draw, first thing is you have to draw the axis. Then other important things here, asymptotes, etc., etc. So you have to first to draw x-axis and y-axis, then x-intercept to y-intercept, all you have to find out. Okay, let us start. 5.3. So before that, let me rub this question. This and so 5.3, I'm going to draw it here. 5.3. So I have to first to find x-intercept and y-intercept, isn't it? So let me write the equation in terms of y. Y is equal to 8 divided by x minus 8 plus 4. Start with the x-intercept. X-intercept, how do you get it? Put y is equal to 0. That is, you can see y here. Let me put that one 0. 0 is equal to you, or you know how to do this question. X minus 8 plus 4. Now you have to solve and find the value of x. So you have to send first to 4 this side, that is minus 4 is equal to 8 divided by x minus 8. Now you have to send the x minus 8 to the left hand side, that is minus 4 bracket, don't forget the bracket is needed, bracket x minus 8. Why? Because you are sending a binomial, is equal to 8. It's clear? Okay. Now we can find the value of x. Open the bracket or send to minus 4, divide both sides minus 4. It is up to you. So let me open the bracket. That is minus 4x plus minus 4 times 8 is plus 32 is equal to 8. That is minus 4x is equal to 8 minus 32. Which is going to be minus 4x is equal to, what is 8 minus 32, which is going to minus 24. Therefore, x is equal to minus 24 divided by minus 4. What is the answer? Positive 6. This is the x-intercept. What does that mean? It is the point where graph touch the x-axis. Okay, you are going to draw x-axis and y-axis. Now let me look for y-intercept. Y-intercept, how do we get it? Put x is equal to 0 in the main function. Where is x? Here is x, isn't it? So y is equal to 8 divided by 0 minus 8 plus 4. So which is going to be 8 divided by minus 8 plus 4. So 8 divided by minus 8 is minus 1 plus 4. So the answer is 3. So we got it, y-intercept is 3, x-intercept is 6. Is it clear? Okay, now we can draw the graph. Alright guys, now I'm going to draw the graph. That is, I'm still in question number 5.3. Okay, you still remember x-axis and x-intercept and y-intercept. That is 5.3. 5.3, let me write it down. X-intercept is 6 and y-intercept is 3, isn't it? Okay, then asymptotes are x is equal to 8 and y is equal to 4. These are the important things that we needed for drawing this graph, isn't it? And here a is 8, which is greater than 0, positive. So let me draw the x-axis, horizontal line. You have to use a ruler, or sometimes you will be given the diagram sheet, y-axis. Okay, now x-intercept is 6, that is 6 is somewhere here. I'm just drawing 6 here. Then y-intercept is 3, 3 is somewhere here. Okay, approximately I'm just plotting those numbers. Then x is equal to 8. How do you draw that line? Remember, it's a vertical line which will pass through a point 8 at x-axis. So 8 is here. So this is how that is clear. Then y is equal to 4. Where is on y-axis? Where is 4? Somewhere here. So the horizontal line. So asymptotes, it's very important. Those are the lines will break the graph, isn't it? All right. So we already know that A is positive. A positive means first part in the first quadrant. This is the first quadrant. Then this is the second quadrant. This is the third quadrant, and this one is the fourth quadrant. Only consider that about asymptotes. That's very important. Clear? So first part in the first quadrant of asymptote. So it's going to be like this. Then the second one is third quadrant. Where is third quadrant? Is here. Third quadrant of asymptotes. Okay, don't look at the quadrants of axis, quadrants of asymptotes. And when you draw, that is very important. There the intercepts are very important. When you draw the graph, it has to pass through the intercept. So it's going to go like this. Do you see that? So this is how we are drawing the graph. So we are done. all the intercepts, because you have to draw the graph of f showing all the intercepts and asymptotes. See, everything is there. So this is how you will get 4 marks. So when you get a question like this, definitely you will be given what, a diagram sheet. Okay, so you have to draw the asymptotes and then just draw the graph. That's it. So this is how we have to draw the graph. Now the next question, 5.4, use your graph to solve. So you have to draw graphically. Okay, so first question number 5, you have to find the values using graph. Okay, 5.4.1, let me write it here. Okay, this question you need to understand very well. I will try my level best to explain. Again, I'm going to use this graph to explain the one that I drew it. Okay, what is this? 8 divided by learners, we need to know where is graph positive and where is graph negative. Okay, so the part of the graph above x-axis is positive. That is, I will show you this part is positive because it is above x-axis, and this part also positive. You need to know that. Okay, then where is graph negative? The part of the graph below x-axis, that is this part, is known as negative part of the graph. Clear? Because graph means y value. So those I shaded where y values are negative. Any point if you take the one that I showed just now, their y values are negative. The other cases y values are positive, where graph is positive. So based on the sign of y, we can say graph is positive or negative. So the part of graph above x-axis is positive, below x-axis negative. Or you can think like this: the part of the graph in the first quadrant and second quadrant is positive, third quadrant and fourth quadrant, in third quadrant and fourth quadrant they are negative. You know, it's up to you. You can take it any way that you are comfortable with. All right, so here, so that must be there in your mind. Okay, let's do this question. 8 divided by x minus 8 greater than or equal to minus 4. So this question, first you have to do an adjustment. You have to see the graph. What is graph? This one is graph, isn't it? I want to see this one. Can you make that one here? This minus 4 from the right hand side, if I bring it into left hand side, what I get it? C 8 over x minus 8. You know, this type of small adjustment is needed, especially when you do question like this. You have to see that graph, the one that is given in the question. So 8 over x minus 8, and I am bringing minus 4 this side is plus 4. Did you see that? Greater than or equal to 0. 1 0 is there with the inequality. You can think about the sign. So what is this one? This one is same as f of x, isn't it? F of x. So this question is changed now. F of x is greater than or equal to 0 means you have to look for the positive. Greater than or equal to 0 means positive, and 0 value. What do you mean by 0 value? That is the intercept, x-intercept, that is 6, is 0 value of the graph. Okay, where y value is 0. Okay, 0 value means y value is 0. So where is graph positive? You have to find out all the x values of that part. That is the answer, because what is the question? Solve for x. So you have to identify the part of the graph according to this condition. What is the condition here? F of x positive. I hope you understood how did I get this f of x. I brought minus 4 this side. So I only showed you which part is positive part of the graph. This one, isn't it? This one is positive above x-axis. And remember this also. And you have to take out all the x values. They are the solution. So x values, for example, this point, what is the x value here? Here, see? Do you see that one? So x values are starting from minus infinity up until where? 6. And 6 also you have to consider, because they greater than or equal to 0 means 0 value. So how do you write all the x values starting from minus infinity up until 6, open bracket, and the side of 6 because 6, the value of 6 is also included because 6 is 0 value, so you have to close it. Okay, 6 is also part of the solution. Is it clear now? So that is one of the solutions. Remember, don't forget this part. Also positive. So x values are starting from where? See, this graph never touched the asymptotes. So the x value is starting from 8, but 8 is not part of the solution. So you have to use open bracket. 8 up until what? Infinity, isn't it? Because this graph is continuing to the right. Or another solution, x value starting from 8 up until infinity, open bracket, and 8 also open because at 8 it is an asymptote. So this is how you have to do this question. Okay, so graphically solving, it is very simple, but you need to understand that concept is clear. All right, guys, and now we move to question number 5.4.2. F of x less than or equal to 3. Find all the values of x where f of x less than or equal to 3. Previous question we did have f of x greater than or equal to 0. Then I said graph is positive because graph is greater than 0, isn't it? In fact, this side is f of x and 0 is same as y is equal to 0. There are two graphs. Y is equal to 0 is what? I told you that above x-axis. How did I get x-axis? Because this 0. This is the y value on the, if number is given. Actually, you are comparing two graphs. Y is equal to 0 is what? Y is equal to 0 is horizontal line passing through the origin, which is same as what? X-axis. Is it clear? So f of x greater than 0 means the graph above x-axis. That x-axis I got it because this 0 means this also y value. Y is equal to 0, that is horizontal line passing through the 0 is what? X-axis. Is it clear? That's how you have to take it. Okay, now in this question, what is that? F of x less than or equal to 3. This is y is equal to 3. What is that line? Y is equal to 3. I will draw it a horizontal line. Just look at here, horizontal line passing through 3. Did you see that one? Horizontal line, y is equal to 3. So you have, where is f of x less than or equal to 3 means the graph under that line. Did you see which part of the graph is that? Starting from here, this part under 3. Okay, so remember, if you see numbers there in inequality, remember that those are the y values. Y, there's another graph, y is equal to 3. Y is equal to 3 is the horizontal line. So the f of x is the given hyperbola. Did you see the part of hyperbola below 3, the one that I shaded? So you have to get all the x values. So at 3, because equal to 3 is there. So at 3, what is the x value? 0, isn't it? Then the x values are going to go 0 to up until where? 8, isn't it? Because this graph never touched the asymptotes from 0 to 8. So what is the answer? All the x values starting from 0 up until 8. So 0 side is closed because equal to 3. At 3, x value is what? 0. Equal to 3, isn't it? So 0 is part of the solution. But at 8, is 8 included? No, at 8, what will happen is an asymptote. So this side is open. This is how you have to write the answer. Or you can write like this: 0 less than or equal to x less than 8. This way also we can write either this or this. This is how we can do this question. Okay, now we can go to 5.5. All right, question number 5.5. You have to find the positive axis of symmetry. Remember, I told you in the beginning, as the hyperbola got two axes of symmetry. One is with the positive gradient, other one is with the negative gradient. The formula I will write it here: y is equal to x plus c. is the axis of symmetry with the positive gradient. You can see the gradient is positive. Gradient means coefficient of x, isn't it? Positive one. Then negative, if the question is about negative gradient, you are supposed to use this formula, minus x plus c. So in both cases, you have to find the value of c. How do you get value of c? Just substitute this point pq. Is it clear? So what is pq here? P is 8 and q is 4. So this point, you have to substitute, you will get it. So where are you going to substitute? The positive that is in this equation, isn't it? That is y value is 4 is equal to x value 8 plus c. Now what can you find the value of c? 4 minus 8, that is c is equal to negative 4. So we got it. So the equation become y is equal to x, c is negative 4. This is the answer. Clear? So it's just a matter of substitution. You have to choose the correct formula. If it is a positive axis of symmetry means x plus c. Negative means minus x plus c. Then c, how do you make it available? Substitute the point pq. Here it is 8, 4. Alright, now we move to the next question, 5.6. You have to find an equation of g of x. What is g of x? F of x minus 2 minus 2. Okay, so how this, look at the right hand side, you have to get an expression for that. F of x minus 2, definitely f of x minus 2 came from f of x. So let me write f of x first. F of x is what? 8 divided by, that is a question, the given function, x minus 8 plus 4. This is our f of x. Now from here we can find what is f of x minus 2. How do you get it? This x you have to replace with the x minus 2, which means the right hand side also, wherever you see x, you have to write what? X minus 2. That's it. So 8 divided by, in the place of x I have to write x minus 2, just a matter of substitution. Then minus 8 plus 4. Clear? So it is going to be what? 8 divided by x minus 2 minus 8 is minus 10 plus 4. Remember, so that is f of x minus 2. But we haven't done, this is actually f of x minus 2 in the bracket outside minus 2. So this one, the one that I circled is what? F of x minus 2. So what must I do? I have to subtract minus 2 at the end. That is this one. So it's going to be 8 divided by x minus 10 plus 4 minus 2 is plus 2. So this is the value of, so g of, what is f of x minus 2? Minus 2 is g of x. So g of x, I got it. 8 divided by x minus 10 plus 2. It's a matter of substitution like that. So f of x is a given function. Write it, then replace x with the x minus 2. Because when you go to f of x minus 2, what will happen? You change x and what you wrote there, x minus 2. So the right hand side, wherever you see x, you have to write x minus 2. Like that. I hope it is clear. So we have done this question. Now we can move to question number 6.